Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Again, thanks everyone for attending our PeopleSoft Oracle Cloud Transformation presentation here. I just want to do some quick introductions. I'm Mike King, SVP of North American Sales, former PeopleSoft executive, was there roughly 12 years. Also on the phone with me, I have Jamie Wyatt, who will be taking us through some of the presentation, who has 10 plus years with PeopleSoft and Oracle. And then we have Dr. Snehal Cherniyara, who will be presenting also. And we also have Prashant Joshi, who is our expert solution architect. So again, glad everyone joined. And as I said before, if you have any questions, just please put them in the questions area. Next slide. So again, from an agenda perspective, we're going to talk about a little bit about Evosys, which is a one-stop shop for Oracle applications. We're going to talk about the business case for moving to Oracle Cloud application with some facts associated with how that works. And then we're going to talk about the Evosys Glide program that helps de-risk your move to the cloud. Next slide. So with that, I'll let Jamie take over.
Thanks, Mike, and thank you everybody for taking your time out today and spending time with us to talk about this journey from PeopleSoft to the Oracle Cloud. I'm Jamie Wyatt. I'm one of the sales directors here, and you know, if you don't know who Evosys is, or maybe one of the questions you have is, who is Evosys and why are we qualified to have this conversation? So let's talk about that a little bit. Evosys is a global multi-pillar partner of Oracle's. We have done over 1,000 cloud projects across all of the solution sets globally. So we do have a global presence, but we have a very significant and strong local presence in a number of markets: the US, Europe, Asia Pac, the Middle East, and the like. We have the ability to provide services across the full scope of the Oracle Cloud solution set, whether it be ERP, supply chain, HCM, EPM, analytics, and the extensions. In addition, we do have the ability to not just provide implementation, but provide managed services and support post-implementation. We have a technology delivery services, and the Evosys Glide is really the topic that we're going to talk about a little bit today. We are one of the premier global partners of Oracle and have a great deal of expertise in very specific industries, from manufacturing, retail and distribution, hospitality, healthcare, engineering, construction, professional services, public sector, and higher education. Next slide, please. And when the pundits out there, the Gartners of the world, take a look at where Evosys is today and as compared to where we were last year, you'll see that Evosys is well respected and moving up and to the right, which in the Gartner Magic Quadrant world is a very good indicator. So very few players out there that are further up and to the right than where Evosys sits currently with Gartner, and we'll continue to be delivering on that as we expand some of our services. And we were also ranked as #1 based on our client reviews, which is obviously the critical testimonial from the customers out there. But that's not the only reason Gartner talks about us. So if we can move to the next slide. Let's talk about our industry solutions and our extensions. Because when you look at moving from PeopleSoft to the Oracle Cloud, many of you in the PeopleSoft world have built out significant extensions and customizations to your PeopleSoft implementation. So whether we're talking about the EPM world, that performance management side, and the very specific planning, budgeting, costing models that have been built out for all of these different industries, as well as the ability to take the Oracle technology and build out specific solutions in ERP, SCM, HCM specifically around things like warehouse or workforce scheduling, subcontract management, point of sale system solution integration, and the like. So what we do is we bring together a depth of expertise across a multitude of industries, and develop out those specific capabilities that the Oracle solution does not have today to the benefit of our customers. Next slide, please. And really, the question is, so, why does that matter to you? And how do we develop a business case moving forward? So I'm a PeopleSoft alum, as Mike mentioned, as is he. And I joined PeopleSoft in 1998, and it was a wonderful product. It gave such great flexibility, and it really, what Dave and Ken put together really started the HR solution set and really drove a lot of those capabilities. But through the years, and even after PeopleSoft 8 and getting acquired by Oracle, the solution has had longevity because of the capabilities that the solution delivers and the customization, the ability to adapt it to the organization. And by doing so, what that's done is that's given an organization great attachment to the solution. But as we look at the fact that there is an end date, out there, albeit a bit far out there, you need to start to plan and need to start to look at the question of how do we move forward. So as we move to the next slide, we talk a little bit about, a lot of organizations have reached a tipping point. Now, my customers in my PeopleSoft years, what they always told me was they had trouble keeping up with the upgrades, and that really hasn't changed since that period of time, right? So the ability for your organization to respond has become, if you will, a limiting factor. Do you have the infrastructure? Will you buy the additional infrastructure? Are you going to add more processes? Do you have the resources to handle the upgrades and the additional customizations and changing the customizations based on the changes? Or, can you keep up with that pace of change? Well, the solution in the Oracle world has changed significantly, and the pace of change is accelerated, and the capabilities that come in this new world really have changed the dynamic, and customer expectations internally as well as externally have accelerated, moving to mobile and taking advantage of things because your talent is looking for this capability, these capabilities. So as we move to the next slide, we start to talk about what does the Oracle Cloud now deliver to us? Well, the Oracle Cloud now delivers to us a solution, at the minimum, a solution equal capability to PeopleSoft, but more so a much broader capability set from ERP and EPM, from the human capital management side, supply chain management, customer management, and the like, by bringing in things around the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, chatbots, digital assistants, the blockchain. All of these new capabilities are capabilities that organizations are looking to take advantage of. They want a solution that's adaptable and that the vendor is driving value for them, looking out into the future. So we've moved beyond an early cloud solution to a solution that it will deliver on functionality out of the box that historically you've had to customize in a PeopleSoft solution, but with the adaptability and the system integrator capability that Evosys brings to adapt that solution even further, because it is configurable and customizable in its own right. So as we move to the next slide and talk finally about developing the business case, the question then becomes two basic levels of consideration, both tactical and strategic. Do you move? What version of PeopleSoft are you on? Do you upgrade? Do you upgrade to another version of PeopleSoft? Or do you ask the strategic question of, if we're going to upgrade and go through all of that, do we want to start to take a look at leveraging the cloud and how to take advantage of what the cloud has to provide us? So, one of the things that I hear every single day are organizations are asking for that improved analytics and that ability to see real-time information and to stay current. And that's really what we're talking about, in the ability to do so nimbly, quickly, and effectively. So as I turn things over to Snehal to talk about how we help you do that, we'll continue to remind you, if you have any questions, go to your question tab and type your questions in. We'll be monitoring that and send you back some answers. Thank you very much. And Snehal, it's all yours, sir.
Thank you, Jamie. Good morning, everyone. So let me introduce myself one more time. I am with Evosys for last 14 years. I am from Boston. My responsibility at Evosys is customer success. I work very closely with our sales and the delivery organization. So before I begin, and Jamie has described the business case, why PeopleSoft customers should migrate to Oracle Cloud application. I want to take a question in the chat window, and then I would talk about how can you do that, how Evosys can help you. So there is a question: is Evosys support model for IaaS, which is infrastructure as services, or SaaS, or both? The answer is both. We support PeopleSoft customer to transform to Oracle Cloud application, or if a customer is looking for lift and shift, meaning they still want to use PeopleSoft but want to migrate from on-premise, the infrastructure which customer is maintaining and managing, they want to migrate on Oracle IaaS or Oracle OIC. We support both. Just for the purpose of clarification, today's webinar is focused on the SaaS space. All right. So let me, before we do a deep dive, let me introduce Evosys Glide program. So Evosys Glide program supports PeopleSoft e-business suite or SAP customer for them to transform from on-premise to Oracle SaaS cloud application. The Evosys Glide program is combination of approaches and tools we have created. Tools such as data migration tool, which helps you to extract data from PeopleSoft, do a transformation, and then migrate data into Oracle Cloud application. The approaches such as our assessment approach, our insight approach, and I'm going to get into a lot of details about it. The Evosys Glide program is a proven methodology. It really helps you to save your effort, not necessarily reduce the transformation timeline, but in terms of effort for you to migrate from Oracle Cloud to Oracle, PeopleSoft to Oracle Cloud application. It also brings huge efficiency in the process. Innovation is part of Evosys Glide program. We do not consider innovation such as IoT, RPA, analytics, chatbot as phase 2, because then you are not really getting true benefit of Oracle Cloud application. So for us, innovation is part of the Evosys Glide program. We try and understand the use case and recommend right innovation as part of the transformation. The Evosys Glide is suitable for different situation of customer, and I'm going to talk about it in a while. Like I said, it's a proven program. So we have customers in North America and globally, about 100+ customers using Evosys Glide program, and they are very successful today. So let me go to next slide. I'll cover next slide, and then we'll see the questions. All right. So as you can see, we have 5 different stages of Evosys Glide program. Each PeopleSoft client does not have to start from stage 1 and then go through entire 5 stage. What we try and do is we try and create a tailored made Glide program for our client depending upon the situation. Now let's talk about those situation and analyze how Evosys Glide program can be useful. So I am a PeopleSoft customer, and I have a lot of questions, such as, I have huge customization on PeopleSoft. What should I do? I am still not sure about my cloud journey. I want to go on cloud. I know cloud is good, but from where I should start? If this is your questions, this is your issues, then the assessment stage of Evosys Glide program is right way to start. uh, we will go into lot of details about each of this stage in my next slides, but I'll just give you a brief overview of each stage so that you have a context to my explanation. So the assessment basically is a free of cost exercise which we do. We send our assessment toolkit to PeopleSoft customer. You will have to run the toolkit on your PeopleSoft install base, and then send us some information. We will create you a free of cost assessment report. The report would have lot of information about your existing implementation, configuration, customization. It will help us to get huge insight about your implementation, and as part of that report we will also give you initial analysis how Oracle Cloud application can be helpful, how easy or complex your journey would be, and what is that you are going to get. So it's a very nice and easy way to start your journey using Evosys Glide program. And like I said, it's completely free of cost. We do not get into long discussion, long workshop. It's very easy. You do not have to invest any time, but you still get a lot of information. I'll give you good detail about assessment in my next slide. The second situation could be, or second list of questions could be, I'm spending, for an example, 3 million US dollar, or I'm going to spend 3 million US dollar on Oracle and Evosys as part of my Oracle Cloud transformation. What is that I would get in return? What is the ROI? Can you give me a business case? I want to present business case to my board and my senior executive. If this is the direction, or these are the questions in your mind, then Evosys Insight is the right way to start your journey. Evosys Insight helps you to analyze your strategic objectives or goal behind transformation. It helps you to identify the KPI, and then we create baseline and the benchmark and show you, what kind of ROI you are going to get. And we would obviously do a deep dive about Evosys Insight, and I would also specify why Evosys Insight is very unique and how our clients are getting huge benefit out of it. Third situation could be, I am a PeopleSoft customer. I know cloud very well. I am very clear. I have a very clear vision. Our team have created 3,000 lines item of very clear requirement to migrate from PeopleSoft to cloud application. We know what improvements we want to bring, what is our requirement, what customization we want to retire. If this is your direction, this is your questions, then proven Evosys implementation methodology is right way to start with Evosys Glide program. So the point is, we really try and understand what is your situation, what is your expectation, and then we would tailor the Evosys Glide program so that you can very effectively use the program. So now let me take some of the questions, and then we will do a deep dive of the assessment to start with. So the next question is, does Oracle Cloud offer solution to PeopleSoft cache management or lease management solution? If they are not available on cloud and we use it heavily, then what do you suggest? I mean, that's a fantastic question. So Oracle Cloud application offers huge features and functionalities. From our experience, it is much more advanced than what does PeopleSoft offer. But it is very important that we acknowledge in every application you might have some gaps. So for an example, a leasing solution. So if that's a gap, on Oracle Cloud application, what Evosys have done is we have created number of extension. So we have extension around leasing, we have extension around engineering and construction. So from our deep experience implementing PeopleSoft, implementing EBS, and now implementing Oracle Cloud application, we know the gaps and we have solution for that. Now let's say if you are not happy with the solution and you have a very peculiar situation, then Oracle Cloud offers you a framework called platform as services. You can use that platform and recreate some of your customization, and we have deep expertise doing that. So the short answer is yes, with Evosys you should be able to accomplish that. All right, so let's keep going. So I have spoken about briefly about the assessment, the stage 1 of Evosys Glide. This is a snapshot what the assessment report would cover. On left hand side, you can see the table of content. It will give you your current landscape in terms of what modules you are using, what is your version, so and so forth of PeopleSoft. It will also get you a lot of information about your key structures, all your custom extensions, reports, your third-party integrations, so and so forth. It will also give you a statistical analysis about the master and the transactional data volume in your PeopleSoft application. And not just that, it is not just about extracting your existing information, but we would do initial study, a very focused study for your install base of PeopleSoft, how Oracle Cloud application can be helpful. This report, like I said, is absolutely free of cost. We will send you the tool, you run the tool, send us information, and we will create you nice, simple, easy report. We can get into details, and this is really impactful. It really helps you to decide right a cloud transformation journey. Some more example, what does the assessment report would include? This is another example. So it will do the mapping of your PeopleSoft module with Oracle Cloud module. So you know exactly what modules you should purchase, so and so forth. We do not stop here. We get into a lot of detail, as far as the assessment is concerned. We would also do, like I said, initial study per module. And when I say module, everything, general ledger, accounts payable, purchasing, if you are using, human capital management, core HR, performance management, everything. So you will get a slide like this per module, what features you are using in PeopleSoft, and how or what additional you can get in Oracle Cloud application. Again, this is going to be an initial analysis, but you at least start realizing what benefit you are going to get out of the transformation. What are the new stuff which Oracle Cloud application offers, and this is all part of the assessment stage. So that's about assessment. We will give you our contact detail at the end of the presentation. Feel free to reach out to us if you think this is the right stage for you to start your cloud journey. We will get you assessment done. All right, so then let's go to the next stage of Evosys Glide program. We call it Evosys Insight. Let me share you our vision for Oracle Cloud application implementation. We call it value-based or measurable value delivery approach. So in our mind, we do not consider going live as the final milestone. With our deep experience implementing Oracle Cloud application, helping a lot of PeopleSoft customer transforming from on-premise to cloud, we feel very, very confident. And when I say that, I am being very careful and cautious, that you will go live successfully 100%. So that's not the challenge. What we want to do is we want to get you return on investment. We want to help you. Why are you spending this money on us and Oracle? We want to give you very tangible return on your investment, and that's what we consider as the success. Evosys Insight is a uh, critical approach for us and customer to basically determine what are the criteria for success, and then also measure post go live, whether they have really got the success, whether they have really got return on investment. And let me give you a brief description, how do we execute the Evosys Insight program. So as part of a sales cycle, we will talk to customer, we will understand their strategic objectives or current major challenges. We would not get into details about the operational difficulties, but what are your major challenges? For an example, improve the efficiency of financial processes. This is one of your challenge, or this is one of your uh, objective behind moving out of PeopleSoft to Oracle Cloud application. So we will list down such objectives, and then as part of the sales cycle, we will identify KPIs. So for an example, in order to improve the financial processes efficiency, one of the KPIs is to reduce payment processing cycle time. We have a library of this KPI which we use as guide, but we try and identify KPI which is very specific to your situation. So we list down the KPI, and normally these KPIs are from four categories: process optimization, system adoption, information output, audit, and compliance. We want to agree on KPI which we can help you to accomplish. We do not want to uh, uh, create a dream which we cannot help you to accomplish. So we are going to be very realistic on the ground and try and identify KPIs which Oracle Cloud application can help you to achieve. Once the KPIs are identified and we are still into the sales cycle, we will create a business case per KPI. So a KPI, so for an example, reduce payment processing time, may have some sub KPIs also. So we will identify those sub KPIs, and then we would also agree on the baseline and the benchmark. So what is your current situation as far as the payment processing time is concerned, and what is your expectation after using Oracle Cloud Financial, where you want to go as far as your as far as this KPI is concerned? What is the benchmark you want to create? So we agree KPI, we create baseline and benchmark, and then we will give this package to Evosys project team, and then once they start the project, they will create number of tasks. In this example, 90% of task is on customer. So there would be task on customer, there would be task on Evosys to accomplish the KPI. This task would be part of our big project work plan. And then Evosys project manager would be responsible that Evosys project team is creating a solution using Oracle Cloud application for you to accomplish this KPI. We will keep monitoring, if the progress is right or not, uh, on a regular interval in the implementation life cycle. And if you observe, in order to do that, we really have to tailor our implementation approach to meet your very specific requirement, and we do that also. Once you are live, and that's where the critical aspect comes in the picture, and that is why we feel very confident and proud that Evosys Glide program is really unique. As part of Glide and the assessment, we have created number of dashboards using Oracle Business Intelligence. This dashboard we will deploy in your instance once you go live, and this dashboard would help you to monitor the progress on this KPI. It helps you to measure, and this is really important. uh, Creating KPI, talking about best practices, all of that is fantastic, but until and unless you can really measure whether you are getting any progress out of everything you have discussed and agreed and decided, it's really not of a great use. So we have number of analytics helps you to monitor the progress. You can monitor progress from our experience, after 3 months of go live up to around 1 year of time. And not just that, we do not stop here also. We will keep our final payment milestone for you to achieve the KPI. So for an example, we have decided 4 KPIs, as part of the sales cycle. You will give us your final payment. It may be after 9 months or 1 year, depending upon the situation on the progress of your KPI. So we really keep skin in the game, and I think that really makes us pretty unique. So that's about Evosys Insight program. I'll keep going. The third stage, if you have observed as part of Evosys Glide program, is the advisory. So this is again very, very important. We believe as part of your PeopleSoft to cloud transformation, consulting is very important. So we have a strong team of certified accountant, CPA. We have a lot of folks, who has industry experience and knowledge. So we do not believe to implement technology without talking about best practices, sharing our experience working with other customers, so and so forth. So consulting is really a critical aspect of our Evosys Glide program. There are a number of items, and consulting could be around varieties of aspects. For an example, a PeopleSoft customer has a vision to improve or modify chart of account as part of a cloud transformation journey. We will pick up that subject, create a special interest group as part of our project, and that group would focus on building right chart of account, at appropriate stage of the project. A customer may have a ask to improve the reporting and analytics strategy. So we will pick up that. You will have experts knowing both technical and business as far as reporting and analytics are concerned. They will create a small plan, and then they will attack that. And that way, we do a lot of advisory, as part of, around innovations. You are saying that, fantastic, cloud is great, but I want to create a human capital department which gives fantastic employee engagement and employee experience. I have 20,000 employees. They have a lot of questions always on for onboarding, performance management. Can you help me where I can answer them 24/7 and still save a lot of time for my HR department? We will create you a chatbot or a digital assistant. And we have use case where customer have got huge benefit out of implementing small and big innovation. So we really try and understand the use case and give you a solution which really helps you as part of your transformation. And our objective is not a migration. We really want you to get a absolute and true benefit out of your cloud transformation journey. So that's stage 3. I'll keep moving. Stage 4 is the actual Evosys implementation methodology or approach. This is a proven approach. We have used this approach for 1,000+ times. The approach has been improved, and philosophically it's been inspired from Oracle Unified Methodology. It's a very, very strong approach for cloud transformation. I'm not really going to get into this slide too much, but there are 2 or 3 points which I really want to highlight. One is we give a lot of importance on readiness. So as soon as you sign contract with Evosys, our project manager will work with you to ensure you are ready for the journey. What all things you need in terms of resources, data, in terms of other technological aspect. We also give huge focus on knowledge transfer and the change management. We create a very tailor-made knowledge transfer strategy as part of project readiness. Then a couple of more points I want to highlight. The third point is best practices. So when we start project with process playback workshop or the system demonstration. We get into an in-depth detailed workshop. You will analyze features and functionalities of Oracle Cloud application. We will share best practices, working with other customers. We will give you all the details, and then we will see, what are the gaps. So sharing best practices, giving you application exposure from day one is an essential portion of our methodology. The last thing I want to highlight is the agile way of build, or the iterative way of build. While we build the solution, once the design is done, we get into a lot of formal and informal 45 minutes, couple of hours of workshop, so that you will see the solution as it gets built. You get lot of exposure to review requirements you have given. The objective is to give you a solution at the end of configure and learn, which you have seen enough time, tested it, and you are fully comfortable. I can get you a lot of information on this slide, but let me keep going for now. So like I said, Evosys Glide is combination of number of approaches and tools we have created. We have discussed assessment, Evosys Insight, Evosys implementation methodology. Those are the examples of approaches. Now let me give you some of the examples of tool. So we have created a data migration tool. It's a fantastic tool. It has the front end also, meaning you can log in into the tool, and you can execute end-to-end data migration process using this tool. The tool essentially helps you to extract data from your PeopleSoft install base. It helps you to transform the data. Now, transformation could be anything. If you are changing your chart of account, or I want to clean my job title as part of the transformation. So it gives you a facility, a tool set which helps you to transform the data, and that's where you save huge effort and energy. It also helps you to bring a lot of accuracy and data quality, as part of your data preparation process. Once the transformation is done, and you may know this, you will have to ultimately populate data in a specific format, Excel format, so that Oracle Cloud application can consume it. So this tool will also help you to populate data in that format, so that you do not have to get into a endless effort converting data from your PeopleSoft, so that you can migrate in cloud application. This really helps you to make the process very fast and efficient. And then at last, it helps you to migrate data into Oracle Cloud application. So it gets connected to Oracle Cloud application, and then you can migrate data. And we also have facility, we have created number of reports and analysis which you can use for reconciliation. So now your reconciliation efforts also becomes really easy as part of this tool. So this is just an example about our data migration assets. The second example of the tool is basically the custom report library. From our experience, we have seen number of customers, PeopleSoft customers created huge custom report. So we have a big reporting library for cloud application, which our customer can leverage. We can choose the report and make the process really faster. There are other tools also we have created, but these are some of the examples. So I'm almost reaching to the end of my presentation. Feel free posting any of your questions on the chat bot if you may have, and we will pick up them. So we also have a very strong managed services portfolio, which our Oracle Cloud customers leverage. Our managed services is very unique. It is not about resolving the issues, solving the bugs. We really focus on improvements. We really focus how do we bring operational efficiency, post you go live. So we cover pretty much everything as part of our managed services. For an example, we obviously solve your problem, solve your queries. We bring a lot of functionality enhancement. You want to implement new features, so and so forth. Everything is part of the managed services. We work very closely with yourself and the Oracle as part of Oracle quarterly upgrades. So Oracle brings quarterly updates, now they call it updates, bring a lot of features, functionality. So we monitor the updates, do necessary testing on your behalf. If there are new cool features as part of upgrade, we will implement those also. We would do continuous user training as part of the managed services. Everything around, your custom reporting requirement, analytics, your integration, everything is part of the managed services. So it's a one-stop shop for all of your support and improvement requirement, and we have a very strong SLA and methodology to execute the support services. So I just wanted to highlight this point also. So that's all about Evosys Glide program. We are more than happy to take your questions. Please feel free asking us any of your questions. Jamie, do we have any questions on the chat?
Yeah, we had one more question that just popped up, and it was a question regarding user training. How long does business user training take? Is it different for power users? You want to talk a little bit about how we train throughout the process, and then do the actual training for the end user community?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jamie. So yeah, like I said, knowledge transfer is one of the most important aspect of our approach. We create a knowledge transfer strategy as part of our project planning. The knowledge transfer is role based, so for different role, and when I say role, I am not referring to just key user, end user, power user. Within power user group also, so I am responsible for accounts payable, or I am responsible for benefit enrollment. We create a role based training strategy. As part of our training, we also give training to IT and system admin group. We give training how to maintain the application, how to create new reports, how to bring basic improvement. The point here is to make you self-sufficient after you go live. So we give huge focus on the knowledge transfer, and not just that, we also give tailored made training material, step-by-step training guide, which really helps our customer. So yeah, it's a role-based training. We start it from day one. We do not believe that couple of weeks of formal training is enough. It has to happen over the process. But yeah, we also do formal training before we go live.
Great,
Jamie.
Thanks, Nehal. Any other questions? Please don't hesitate to type them in. Doesn't look like it. I think that we can give folks a few minutes back from the hour. Any final comments from Snehal?
No, I think thanks, Jamie. Feel free, if you want to run the assessment, which is free of cost immediately, reach out to us. This is our email address. We'll get in touch and we'll help you to start your cloud transformation journey.
A final question just came in. As a systems integrator, what environments do they support? IaaS, PaaS, SaaS?
Sure. So we support all three environments. We have experience for SaaS. We have experience for platform as service, where we have created number of extension. We also have experience in lift and shift. So if you want to do a lift and shift for your PeopleSoft to Oracle infrastructure as service, we have that experience also. So we support all three different environments.
Okay, looks like that might be all. One last call for questions? No? Well, thank you so very much to everybody for attending. If you have any other questions, you see Snehal, Mike, and my email address. Don't hesitate to take those. And I believe that we will be sending out a link to the recording as well as the slides from today's presentation to all of the attendees. Again, from Evosys and the team, thank you very much for attending.